Also, you know what? I gotta tell you guys this, okay? If anybody who listens to this, or either of you, if this gets cut out of the podcast or anything like that,
Okay.
I swear to God, if you ever get anyone officiating at your wedding that wants to tell a metaphor about how because a ring has no end, the circle represents the unending, you kick that person in the shins. You tell them to take that hackney bullshit back to the grade school fairy tale romance book that they found it in, and come back with something a little more stirring.
Did they quote Corinthians?
I don't know if I'll ever get married, but if I do, I want the officiator to get up there and explain about how De Beers has cornered the diamond market and how they control all the prices. Just go up there and be like, diamonds aren't actually that rare, but because of market manipulation, you see, just go on for like 20 minutes.
And now, please place the symbol for the loss of so many young African lives in mining accidents and also market manipulation on your partner's hand.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Word Funk. I am Leon Thomas. With me, as always, is Austin Yorsky and Johnny Maloney, and we're going to talk about all manner of things on the show, as we normally do. The biggest news in the world right now is something that just completely blew me away. Obviously, everyone in the universe is talking about it. It's all over the CNNs, and it is that The Tick, the live-action The Tick show on Fox from many years back, is being resurrected.
I like how you couldn't get through that without giggling.
of all the shows to be brought back, after years and years and years of just like of sitting on the shelf, I guess it just completely dead and only getting one season. I never thought The Tick would be the one that comes back. I mean, I guess Arrested Development coming back was a big deal, but that had such a massive following that people were like screaming after it was canceled. I think
How many years was it that Family Guy? Because Family Guy went off the air too, and then actually came back to network TV.
Yeah. I mean, Family Guy went off the air, but I mean, it had a strong following, and it lasted a few seasons. For one reason or another, it went away. But there was, like I said, there was a strong following to it, and it had a few seasons under its belt. And when it was brought back, it was interesting, but not like, I mean, it was unexpected at the time, because that doesn't normally happen, but you could sort of understand it. I mean, DVD sales helped and all that, but The Tick has just been dormant for years and years and years. I mean, it was. I mean, we had the cartoon and that was amazing, but the live action show ran a season. So and apparently it's for anyone who's wondering where it's going to be, it looks like Amazon is bringing this back. Like I guess the internet is the place to be to resurrect shows that have been canceled. Community is going to be on Yahoo, and I guess the people we have to thank for this are Amazon. That's surprising, but all right, but that's cool. And apparently, Ben Edlund, excuse me, who created The Tick, is going to be involved. So this is going to be the brainchild of the creator of The Tick. For anyone who didn't watch the show, Patrick Warburton, who is best known either as David Puddy from Seinfeld and the voice of so many characters, all having the same voice in various cartoons, was The Tick, and it also starred my favorite. I don't know about favorite, but one of my favorite puns of all time, Batmanuel. Which is just really stupid. It's completely stupid. On the cartoon and in the comics, it was Deflator Mouse. It was just a Batman parody or something. And on the show, they said, well, we'll change his name. And they made him like a Latin lover, and his name is Batmanuel. And I just always thought that was hysterical every time they said his name. The show it was completely goofy. I remember the very end of one episode was they just looked out the window and people were screaming and they said, oh no, it's Apocalypse Cow. And they ran outside to stop what I can only assume was like a 100-foot cow. And that was the show, if you've never seen it. So, guys, what do you think about this? And also, what shows do you want to be brought back after years of being away? And no shows that were like canceled last year. I'm talking about like from the 90s or early 2000s.
One question at a time, Leon, please.
We're sorry.
We're only so much men right now, me and Johnny. There's only two of us. I gotta say, I've seen like an episode of The Tick live action, like an episode of the cartoon, but most of my exposure to the series is the Sega Genesis beat 'em up. Because back in the day when you bought a video game, that was just your video game for like the year. That's just how like kids worked. So I played the shit out of that game. So all I really remember is him yelling spoon and punching people in the face.
Well, that's a huge part of both shows.
That's the appeal, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never played that game, but just the way you described it, it sounds like a pretty fair adaptation. Johnny, your thoughts?
It's weird.
The show or it being brought back? Or both, I guess both.
It being brought back. I mean, like, I can understand that, like, it seems that, like, all of these new streaming services are trying to find that one thing that they're like, oh, okay, you're going to want to come to Netflix because Netflix has new Arrested Development. You're going to want to go to Yahoo TV because Yahoo TV is going to have Community. And you're going to want to go to Amazon TV because Amazon TV has the live-action Tick.
Well, I mean, it obviously doesn't have the broad appeal of either of those things, but for me personally, I wouldn't say I'm more excited about The Tick than the new season of Community, but I'm definitely going to be watching both. I mean,
I'm not saying that it's like, oh, of all the shows that you could pick, why would you pick The Tick? But it's like, it just seems like a weird, like, it seems like a weird first stop. Like, I'm imagining that in the meeting, they didn't, like, that wasn't the first guess. That wasn't like they were all sitting around being like, okay, what do we buy? What do we bring back? What do people want? You know, like, nobody, like, you know, that meeting did not start with a guy standing up, snapping his fingers and going, aha, the live-action Tick, and then getting a round of applause from the dudes around this table.
But wouldn't it be great if it was?
It would be.
What if the meeting started and someone said, "What do we do?" and someone just jumps up and says, "The Tick," and then he starts explaining why, and everyone says, "Stop drilling! You've hit oil." That's what we're going to do. That's literally all we're going to do.
I mean, that would be fantastic if that was the case, but I'm more than a little skeptical of that being the case. So. Yeah, so I mean, that's when I say it's weird. I'm like, I want to know what other ideas they had beforehand that they just had to, like, write out of, that they were just like, no, or we won't be able to get that, or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall during those meetings as well. For me, I mean, when I was young, I sure did like the show My So-Called Life. It was a really great teen soap opera-y show that was, I would say, smarter than the similar shows of its time, I guess would be the best way to put that. They can't do it now, though, because you can't have 30-year-old actors, 40-year-old actors, I guess, playing teenagers. I mean, unless you were like Luke Perry on 90210. But so that can't really happen. But like certain shows like this that have been gone for a long time, I mean, if the Tick looks about 10 years older, it's not really going to be a big deal. He's in a big blue suit.
I mean, it helps that Patrick Warburton hasn't aged really since then. He looks pretty much the same now.
Yeah, I saw Patrick Warburton. I mean, I mostly just hear him, but I did see him like. He guest starred on an episode of The Soup, I think, like a few days ago. And yeah, he pretty much just looks like Patrick Warburton of 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Patrick Warburton is amazing because he somehow, like, parlayed a, like, guest starring role on Seinfeld to being a voice actor, but he's a voice actor that only does one voice, and it's Patrick Warburton.
It's really distinct.
Incredible.
It's really great. I mean, I'm not making fun. I mean, in a way, John Benjamin basically just does the same voice on almost all of his shows. He occasionally does a little bit differently, but mostly Archer just sounds like Coach McGurk. Okay. Coach McGurk just sounds like Ben from Dr. Katz. It's pretty much always going to be like that.
Have you seen the episode of Archer where he thinks he's Bob from Bob's Burgers?
Yes, I've seen all the episodes of Bob's Burgers and Archer. So yes, that's another one. He has the one voice, and that's fine. But yeah, I guess him and Patrick Warburton are kind of like the go-to voice actors who only do one voice.
Are there any TV shows that you'd like to see come back, Austin?
I mean, Firefly is the obvious one, but I actually kind of like obviously I wish more Firefly would have been made, but it's kind of has the mystique, like Nirvana, it ended, and it's like, what is left of it is like perfect, and I kind of don't want to mess with it. So if I had the power to necromancy a show back, it might be like Pushing Daisies or Wonder Falls.
Yeah, I love me some Brian Fuller.
His shows always get canceled so soon, and I really dug both of those shows. So probably one of those. That's my. I think we talked about them before when we talked about Hannibal.
Yeah.
Because it's the same guy, but I like his style and I like his work. Need more of that. So.
Yeah.
That's my contribution to that question.
Okay. Any more thoughts about The Tick or about the series being brought back or anything of that note?
Deadwood.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
You know what? I started watching after its run. I didn't realize it had been canceled, but sometime after its run, I started watching the DVDs to Deadwood, and I hate it. I hate watching a television series that doesn't have a conclusion, basically. So I watched the first season of Deadwood, and then I heard it was canceled, and then for some reason I just had no interest in watching season 2 and season 3 DVDs. Just because I was like, I'm going to get invested in these characters, and it's going to be like almost everything Franz Kafka ever wrote, just completely unfinished. So
that's actually, I quit Twin Peaks like 2 episodes from the end, because I none of these plot points are going to be resolved. Like, this is just completely and totally nonsense at this point.
I mean,
as far as
he made a movie because it was a prequel.
You weren't interested in watching the conclusion to James Hurley's stirring story of going to another town, meeting a bunch of brand new characters, getting seduced by a rich woman, and then framed for spoilers?
Can we talk about how shit James Hurley is? He's like the worst character in fiction. Every time he's on screen, Mal's just like, oh my god, please let him be next to get killed. I just want him to die. He's the villain of Twin Peaks.
I was a little bit like, I kind of liked how David Lynch was trying to be like, oh yeah, this dude's a biker, but he's super sensitive. I kind of liked that, where it was like, yeah, all right, this dude who rides a chopper and has this crazy leather jacket is sitting in his girlfriend's den recording a song on his guitar called Just You and I, which, strangely enough, is also the sum total of all the lyrics in the song.
I mean, yeah, it kind of plays with your expectations of the biker character, but he's
he was awful.
He goes the other way, though. He's so oversensitive. When something completely unrelated happens, he just bails on his girlfriend and leaves town.
I'm almost convinced that a cardboard cutout of the James Hurley character would be a better James Hurley than James Hurley actually was.
Oh, Twin Peaks. There's enough material there for a much longer conversation. But, Leon, did you have another topic you wanted to talk about, or are we just going to Twin Peaks it up?
You can Twin Peaks it up. There is the thing that you sent to me, but you can jump in with that whenever you're ready.
Oh, so it's my responsibility?
I'm afraid it is.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
I'll brought it to the table.
I'll just do it. I looked for 10 minutes for something, and there's nothing good to talk about. I'm sorry, everyone. I saw the story I guess I'm introducing right now. I'm not very good at the segue. Is that a British guy kickstarted hoverbikes from Star Wars, from Return of the Jedi in the forest, that scene. He asked for 30,000 whatever British. It's this cursive capital E. Is that a euro?
That's a euro.
He asked for 30,000 of those. He got 60,000, and there are pictures of it. It has 4 fans that are vertical attached to a bike sitting thing, and it looks like it works. He's getting it working, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome, but how do you make that street legal, since this is basically a brand new invention?
I've actually had this conversation a ton of times where people are like, where are my jetpacks? Where are my flying cars? And my answer is always, no one would ever have a flying car? That makes every minor mechanical malfunction into a life or death situation. Run out of gas, you're dead.
Yeah,
your transmission goes out, you're dead. Your engine malfunctions, you're dead. Everything, no matter what. Same thing with this hover bike. If you make one minor miscalculation and you get fucking splattered all over Endor.
Yeah, I would have died at least twice by now. And not for like being like a reckless driver, just the fact that at least 2 points in my life, the car has just stopped for, some mechanical problem that I fixed later. So yeah. I mean, I think everyone has come across that at some point in their life. So that means if the same thing were happening and we were also all in flying cars, we would all die. And I mean, that would be like the only cause of death.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason we have terrestrial vehicles. It's not that we can't invent flying cars. It's that they're a terrible idea. Same thing with jetpacks, by the way. If you're wearing a backpack that shoots fire, you're going to catch fire. Like your legs and your back.
Yeah.
There's no solution to that doesn't involve being burned alive.
Yeah. The thing I've always said about flying cars, everyone says, why can't they build one? It's like, well, we have flying vehicles that have wheels. They're called planes. It's just that it's dangerous, and also the logistics of basically creating a new, I guess all new traffic. Everyone has to get flight certified, and also there, in like Back to the Future 2, where there's like sky streets where there's traffic lights all over the sky and shit. We'd have to like regulate that in such a way that it just isn't worth it.
Yeah, we already invested billions in the highway infrastructure. Like, why would we do that again?
Yeah, I mean, and frankly, our infrastructure is not top of the line right now. Maybe we should focus on like just fixing potholes first before we even think about flying cars.
But Leon, sky streets wouldn't need pothole fixing.
Oh, right. They would just have giant explosions in the sky every day.
You would just need someone whose permanent job is scraping up the people off the ground.
There you go. It's job creation and a cheaper infrastructure.
Oh my gosh.
Not to mention, it would be a huge boom for the parachute market.
Our mortality rate would just never mind. It would just be terrible. All right, but no. I mean, about the Star Wars bikes. I mean, that's
we completely left the actual topic to talk about something unrelated.
I mean, that'd be cool to just have if you have like a field in your backyard, just scoot around in it or something. But most
how the fuck are you gonna stop?
Presumably they like tilt, right? Because it says it's like a combination of what are those called? Those vertical lifts things. What are those?
Yeah,
I'll look it up later.
VTOLs.
So VTOLs. That's it. It's like that, right? You can just like turn them to slow your forward momentum and then angle it back down to like come to a stop or whatever. Because it's fan based. At least this design is the one he's working on. So I mean, I don't think it's the most efficient.
I'm not sure I trust people. I'm not sure I trust people to, like, in my general experience, they have enough trouble putting their foot down to stop properly that if you actually have to, like, calculate airspeed momentum and how much, like, you need to winch back on that in order to, like, slow to a manageable speed, I'm like, I'm kind of amazing to me that there's not an IQ test for getting behind the wheel of a car.
As a general rule, we should not sell civilians vehicles which have 4 whirling blades of death attached to them.
Also, I mean, when you buy a car, even if you don't know much about cars, if there's a mechanical problem, there's like a million places where you can go to get it fixed. You go to your Mr. Tire or your Pep Boys or your whatever. But when you've invented a new vehicle, if there's a mechanical problem, you can't just email the guy on Kickstarter and say, can you send someone who knows exactly how to fix this completely unique device? I just feel like what I can only assume will be a very expensive vehicle is pretty much useless unless you yourself are a mechanic and also know like the intricacies of how this thing works. It's
so what you're pretty much saying is that this guy's market is more or less limited to Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It would never be mainstream adoption was never even in question. I just think it's going to be like a rich person's toy.
Does it say on the Kickstarter page how much it would cost? I mean, approximately.
Well, what I saw, I mean, I'll look up the Kickstarter again. What I saw before was that if you gave a certain amount, like you got a model of it, but not like the actual working one.
You get a toy.
It's pretty funny.
Wow, I mean, I could get that if I buy a box set of Star Wars Legos.
Yeah, like, okay, the second highest, it's 1,150 uppercase cursive E's. You get a 1/3 scale hoverbike drone, and you get a backpack, I guess, or something. What is this? Oh, choice of T-shirt. Awesome.
Whoa!
The highest, though, is the 2,100 cursive uppercase E's, and you get to go to southern England and, like, see it. But, like, none of the pledge levels get you one.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can only assume this is going to be very expensive.
It's like he just wants...
for how many uppercase cursive E's, Austin?
He asked for 30,000. He got 60. The project is to get one working, not to sell them to the backers. You know what I'm saying? That appears to be at least.
Look, I don't want to be...
The idea.
I don't want to be, like, too cynical because I mean this is kind of cool.
Like,
I know. I mean, but this is kind of cool that he's making this, and I like new inventions, new technology, but I'm not trying to shit on it, and I realize I kind of did, and maybe
I mean you're shitting on it effortlessly because that's pretty good.
but no, I mean it's amazing if you can actually build one. It really is. But I'm just wondering about the market for this and the logistics behind actually owning it and fixing it and actually riding it somewhere. I mean, it seems like it's something that there's a lot of details and legalities, honestly, that need to be ironed out before one can even own something like this.
You could tell our childlike sense of wonder is gone, because if it's like, oh, somebody is inventing a lightsaber, we'd be like, well, that doesn't sound safe. You'd probably lose fingers. Someone has to regulate that, right? You can't just walk around with a lightsaber. Like, we would just completely sandbag that.
Right. When I saw your article, I went, that's cool. But 5 seconds later, I was like, wait a minute, there are a lot of inherent problems with this.
Exactly.
See, I know I'm getting old because oldies radio stations have started to play music that was popular when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great to hear Dishwalla again. The point I'm trying to get at, though, gentlemen, is embrace it, because it's not going away and you can't change it. If we want to be curmudgeons about hoverbikes, let's be curmudgeons about hoverbikes.
Yeah. Tell me all your thoughts of God, Johnny. I'd really...
Do you really want to see him?
Yeah. Okay. So, we were talking about...
There's that wonderful reference there for all, like, 4 of you who remember Dishwalla.
Before the show, we were talking about, I suggested it, and you guys said yes, which is important. We're going to bring something back that we used to do on BT Podcast, at least for this week, just because there's not a whole lot to talk about. That is, on the old BT Podcast, we would always have a segment where we would call, what have we been playing this week? And since we all enjoy the video games, I will start, and I'm playing Tales of Graces F, because that is what I do with my life. I've been playing it, and I will say this, although I know that I'm getting close to the end, not only because narratively it looks that way, but also because, although I am not reading a walkthrough, because that would defeat the purpose for me, I am looking at the chapter titles to a walkthrough just to see how far along I am in this game. In this walkthrough, there are 13 sections, and I'm on section 11. So I am obviously getting close to the big boss. I have, for those who have played the game, I have just landed my spaceship on Thodra.
I was about to ask if you had the ship yet, because that's how you know you're getting into the home stretch.
Yeah. What did Vodra think about that?
Thodra. What did Thodra think? Thodra is a planet. So folks who didn't think anything.
Yeah,
Tails?
Galvatron is kind of a planet, so...
Tails has the most bullshit fantasy names for things. It always cracks me up.
I love Tails games, and I love how they're. I just how do I put this? I love that Tails games are when I play each Tails game, it's a new story every time. But there are so many uniform things about a Tails game that also give me this sense of that it grounds it. It grounds it for me, just like every Zelda game. You don't know when you're going to get the boomerang, but you're going to get the boomerang. And in every Tales game, certain things happen, and you're not sure when they're going to happen, but they always do.
Sorry, not Galvatron, Unicron. My mistake.
That's the important thing we need to discuss.
I'm sorry, there were probably just a couple of Transformers fans out in the audience there that were like, oh my god, I'm gonna write a comment so hard!
Don't you know Galvatron was what Megatron became in Transformers the movie, which was the last voice role of Orson Welles, by the way, and I've got the touch and the power? That's what I imagine it sounds like.
Oh,
but anyway.
You've got the touch.
Yeah. So, what the hell is that? Oh, yeah, Tales of Grace's F. I enjoy this game. It is fun. I've been saying this for quite a while now. I'm actually pushing through it in such a way that I will be finished soon, perhaps by the time we do next week's show. And then I will be playing, I think, Dark Souls. So I will have something new to talk about in terms of video games on the show, finally. I've sort of made a list of PS3 games that I have yet to play, that I will need to play before I will even consider buying a PS4. It's a pretty hefty list. I have no real desire to buy a new piece of hardware when I still haven't played Ni no Kuni. So, that has to take priority over getting a new bulky machine. So that's what I've been playing. Johnny, what have you been playing?
I got a couple of things in the pipeline that I've been playing. Regular listeners of the BT podcast may know that there are quite a number of Kickstarted titles that I participated in. Very recently I got access to the Pillars of Eternity beta. So I've touched on that a little bit. I didn't want to play too much of it because I didn't want to ruin the plot, because RPG plots to me are pretty important, particularly from some old school teams that used to make games like Baldur's Gate and the Fallout games and things like that. So I've just kind of poked around in it to see if I like the systems and if it feels kind of like natural, which it does. Like, if you're a fan of the Infinity Engine games, it's like being abroad on, a sea liner or something like that, and working as a fisherman for, 2 years, and then finally arriving home, and, your comfy chair's there, and you sit down in it, and it's still got your grooves. It's like, oh, God, this is familiar, I know this, but it's not. It's, new in a way. So Pillars of Eternity, cool, all over that. I've also been playing through, for my first time, episodes from Liberty City for Grand Theft Auto 4, because I never played through the EFLCs when they came out.
Those are both really great. I actually like those more than the main game, I think.
I was going to say exactly that. I love both of them way more than I liked Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4 had a number of problems for me. Not the least of which was its protagonist. Yeah,
I love Nico Bellic's accent. When that game came out, me and my brother talked like that for a week. Brother Roman, let's go to the old country. We were just doing that shit to each other all week. It was fantastic. I actually really dug that game when it came out, but in hindsight, it's not very good.
I kind of had problems with it at the time. It was kind of like Dragon Age 2 for me, where I was kind of so happy to see more Grand Theft Auto that it didn't dawn on me until I was done with it. Same with BioShock 2. I put it down, and at the end of it, I was like, I'm not sure that was very good.
Yeah. I agree with both of those examples.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, but yeah, so what with the news that Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming to PC in the autumn of this year, pardon me, I was like, I should really go back and play episodes from Liberty City because I'm probably never going to. if Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out. Because then if at any point in time I'm ever like, oh, hey, you know, like I kind of feel like a Grand Theft Auto experience, I'll probably play GTA Online or just mess around in Grand Theft Auto 5, being like, you know, the most recent iteration of that series. So I decided that I was going to pick it up and play it through. And I'm really enjoying them, actually. Like, I like the storylines, I like the protagonists, I like the variety of the missions in them. I also like it that I'm not being bothered every 5 minutes by somebody who's like, hey, let's go play darts. Hey, let's go bowling. Hey, let's go for a drink. Hey, let's go to dinner. Hey.
You don't like Cousin Roman?
I just, you know, like, I mean, he was a funny enough character, but it just served to disrupt the game so much. You know? And it like, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. It did
also,
not.
like, I'm trying to remember which one it was, but one of those expansions really characterizes that one character, the guy who was on like bull shark testosterone. Do you remember that guy?
Oh yeah. That's the second one. That's episodes of that's Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah, I really like that.
You get pulled into his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, like Brucey's older brother. His name's
Brucey,
Maury.
that's it.
Yeah, and Maury's like, you know, this shorter, like, totally whipped up version of Brucey, and he emasculates Brucey, like, left, right, and center.
And you totally see where he gets it, and it all makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, it's good. I like the way that they've tied in the stories, too, that you're kind of, like, playing characters that are secondary, maybe even tangential, like tertiary to the plot of the main campaign. But they generally have a lot more charm. The humor is way more apparent. And it feels more in line with what I expect from a Grand Theft Auto game, whereas Grand Theft Auto 4 was trying all at once to be like a ridiculous Grand Theft Auto game, you know, like Vice City or San Andreas was, but then at the same time was trying to tell this stirring story of the immigrants' plight to America, and it was just dissonant. They didn't work together. You know, there was no proper focus on one or the other, and it was
a good attempt. It was a good attempt, especially for the time.
Yeah, you know? It was a good try, you know. But I mean, you don't get the big trophy for a good try. But, although, as far as I'm concerned, they managed to get the big dollars. So who cares if they had a good try?
I think, in conclusion, all three of those games are better than Grand Theft Auto 5. That's the real takeaway. I'm saying individually, not even combined. Like, the more I think about it and the longer it's been since I played Grand Theft Auto 5, like, the more I'm disappointed with it. I did not like that game very much. Yeah. I've said plenty. I gave it, like, the lowest score of anybody who reviewed it, so.
Mm-hmm. What did you give it? Just to stoke the fires here.
I think a 6 or 7.
Huh.
It's really impressive technologically. Like, they've made this huge city with like whole tons of shit to do, and it's like I can't believe they even did it on a modern like that gen console. But like as a story, like as characters and all that, and even the humor, like all that fell flat. Like the writing just didn't do anything for me, especially after Red Dead Redemption, which is like a fantastic game.
Okay.
I've also been playing the beta to Galactic Civilizations 3 because I'm a slut for those games.
Wow. Space.
Yeah.
Unless anyone has another video game they want to talk about, I do have like one thing that I just want to talk about. It's my latest internet addiction. Basically, I know, it's terrible.
Is it looking up nude pictures of celebrities?
It's absolutely not. That is,
oh God, Johnny.
It's completely wrong.
Tasteless.
Yeah, it's a crime that it happened. And it's tasteless to actually look it up. But, don't look at bad pictures of things that are leaked. But that's actually not what I was going to talk about. I am talking about, there's a website called Letterboxd, and without the ED, letterbox, and then a D. And and what happened was this. Someone who supports my Patreon, which is very nice, sent me a Tumblr ask and said, "Are you on Letterboxd? If not, would you please make an account?" And I said, okay. And I did. And basically all it sounds like the simplest thing in the world, and it is incredibly addicting. It's basically just a gigantic list of every movie you've ever watched. And you can rate it or just press that you liked it or didn't like it. And it sounds like it's the stupidest thing in the world and that you wouldn't even be remotely interested in it, even if you're interested in movies as much as I am. And yet, here's how it works for me. I have this long catalog of every movie I've ever watched. So I click on something that says, 80s movies. And it gives me a list of like 50 80s movies with all the posters of them. And I just click, yes, seen it, haven't seen it, so don't click on it, seen it, and then, that was neat, okay, I guess I'll stop now. But then again, there's a little button at the bottom that says next page, and then I click on next page, and then I do another page, and then by the 8th page I'm on, I keep saying, alright, no more pages for tonight, and then I keep going, because I keep finding movies I have seen and want to click on that I have seen them, and that I like or don't like it. And it sounds insidious. And it is. But it's actually something that I've been doing quite a bit. And there is a practical purpose to this besides the fact that it gives myself a neat list of every movie I've ever seen and whether or not I like it. It also lets my fan base know which movies I've seen and have not seen and whether or not I liked it. Because the most common question I get on my Tumblr ask about my show and about me is, have you seen this movie? Did you like it? And this happens like 4 times a day. It's just a random movie from the past 30, 40, 50 years and ask whether or not I've seen it and liked it. And I'm not going to write a review, because I have my show for that. And so I just always respond, yes, I have seen it and I liked it. Or, yes, I have seen it and I did not like it. Or, haven't seen it. And that's the answer I give to every single one. But now, every time that someone asks me that, I'm just going to link them to this gigantic, at this point, 1,396 films that I have seen, and they can figure that out themselves. It's a very simple. It's very easily it's very user friendly too. You just click and then you instantly know whether or not I have seen that movie and whether or not I've liked it. And also besides whether or not I've seen a movie and whether or not I've liked it, the other frequently asked question that I always get is, what are your favorite films? And this lets me list them. So it only gives me 4 spaces. So I had to really think about it. But now. This is very helpful for me because I constantly get questions about this kind of thing, and now I can just show the link, and it will instantly answer every question that my entire audience has about movies I've seen and haven't seen and what are my favorites. And it's actually very helpful, so I would recommend checking it out. But although I do have to warn you that everyone I have shown this website to has become addicted to it as well, so be careful. By the way, those favorite films are Blade Runner, Vagabond, Magnolia, and The Fountain. I'm sorry, Children of Men, they only gave me 4 and not 5.
Leon, but I'm unsatisfied with your answer to the more important question, which I saw on Twitter earlier. Someone asked you who would win in a fight between the 3 of us, and you said Johnny knows Kung Fu. Well, that was your answer.
Well, I felt like I was saying Johnny would win because he knows Kung Fu.
I know. I'm still dissatisfied with that answer.
It wasn't just a statement of that Johnny knows Kung Fu, but I know something else. No, I can't fight at all. I learned
I mean, Leon, being real, me and Johnny will whoop your pasty ass. The
question I agree.
Would win between me and Johnny, I think.
I still feel like it's Johnny because I don't know what you do for a living, but I think Johnny has some sort of physically demanding job that makes sort of juggernaut.
I used to be a dock worker, and then I dug ditches. And also I played high school football.
Oh my god, you're really putting down your jock card on this one.
Austin, I know you got weak knees though, and I'm not above kneecapping you.
Ah, damn it. That's true. I do have an Achilles knee, but
just to interject here, in a fair fight, Johnny destroys me. Austin probably does as well. In a dirty fight, I have a shot. And I'm not just talking about pulling hair and, like, groin stuff. Like...
groin stuff. Please let that be the name of this episode. Groin.
I'm gonna try to get it passed. Yes, I'm gonna try to get it in Groin stuff. But no, I mean, every fight I haven't been in a fight as an adult because people get along with me very well, and if someone gives me a hard time, I usually just look at them quizzically and just say, "Why are you yelling at me? Why are you upset with me?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm drunk." You know, like, well, that's why. Leave me alone. And that's usually the end of it. So I haven't been in a fight as an adult. Was in plenty of fights as a youngster, and all of them were dirty. That meant like throwing shit and like calling friends of mine over to help me out. So as a child,
you have no honor.
No. As a child, well, I grew up in Baltimore. This place is like it's horrible. It's exactly like The Wire, except it's way worse.
I was pretty sure that they were originally just going to call Baltimore Thunderdome.
There's a famous piece of graffiti in Baltimore that apparently no one will ever take down. It just says Bulletmore Murderland, as opposed to Baltimore, Maryland, and no one will take it down. No one will like get rid of it because it's so accurate that we're like, I can't even get mad at this because it's illegal.
Leon. Also, you guys got a pretty good football team, so you have that going for you.
I think that's a thing. I don't know. I don't follow the sports balls.
I'm so excited about sports balls, guys. Football season's about to start.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
No one cares. Okay. Speaking of Twitter stories, I didn't actually get... Real quick, we're out of time.
What are you playing, Austin? I need to know.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't get to say what I was playing. That's fine, though, because you should follow me on Twitter at Austin Yorsky, because I tweet, like, everything I play. So that's just where you can find that information. Like, we're out of time, so I played, like, 4 games. We don't have time for that. But just follow me, and then you get that information. It's free. I can give it to you.
Okay.
All my opinions. It's all good.
Spreadsheet?
Yeah, I should make a spreadsheet. Oh, guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. The show Rock took place in Baltimore, and that was not a cop show. It was about a garbage man, which also
Leon.
does not make us look good.
Leon.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about a podcast? You forgot to last week.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that.
Stop being bad at your job.
I'm sorry. There's other podcasts that I listen to, and I was going to like try to mention one once a week, and I keep screwing that up. I listen to the Slash Filmcast. It's a pretty good news and reviews movie podcast. I believe that can be found at slashfilmcast.com or just at slashfilm.com. There's a link to it there. It is good. It is enjoyable, and I like listening to people talk about movies, oddly enough. So,
Is it better than we are?
At talking about movies, maybe, but that's only because we barely touch on movies. We mostly just talk about bullshit.
Yeah, we mostly just touch on each other. I think that's the best topic for us.
No, that's the name of the title. We mostly.
It certainly is full of groin stuff.
Okay, that's the show for the week, you dorks.
Yeah, we have to go.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Really, we're gonna go out on that? Okay.